Imagine this, you're about to make a decision. It could be something small, like taking a different route home, or something big, like trusting a stranger. Suddenly, a quiet voice inside you whispers, asterisk do this. Asterisk you can't explain why, but you just know. Later, you discover that choice saved you from trouble, or led you to an unexpected opportunity. That feeling, that unexplainable knowing, is what we call intuition. It's one of the most mysterious forces in human experience. Some dismiss it as coincidence. Others see it as instinct, shaped by evolution. And still others believe it connects us to something far greater than ourselves, an invisible intelligence guiding us through life. But what is intuition, really? Is it just our subconscious brain crunching data faster than we realize? Or is it evidence of a hidden connection between all living things? Could it even be a doorway to realms science has yet to explore? For centuries, intuition has been treated as something mystical. Prophets, oracles, and seers claimed their visions came from beyond ordinary reason. Yet even today, in a world ruled by logic, intuition refuses to disappear. We trust it when we feel danger without proof, when we sense someone's emotions without words, or when inspiration strikes out of nowhere. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history were born from this mysterious force. Albert Einstein admitted that his theory of relativity wasn't just calculation, it came as a sudden intuitive leap. Steve Jobs once said, "Intuition is more powerful than intellect." From inventors to artists, leaders to explorers, many credit their success not to reason alone but to that inexplicable gut feeling. But if intuition is so powerful, why don't we fully understand it? Modern science has started to investigate. Neuroscientists believe intuition may arise from patterns buried deep in the subconscious, where the brain processes countless details too quickly for us to notice consciously. Psychologists describe it as a form of fast thinking, an evolutionary tool for survival. And yet, there are still cases that can't be explained so easily. Stories of people knowing events before they happen, sensing danger miles away, or dreaming of something that later comes true. Are these just lucky guesses, or is intuition tapping into something beyond time and space? This is where the mystery deepens. Because intuition feels both deeply personal and universally human. Everyone has experienced it at some point, whether they acknowledge it or not. It's as if intuition is an ancient compass within us, guiding us through the unknown. So in this journey, we'll explore the hidden world of human intuition. We'll look at how it shapes our choices, how it may connect us to each other, and whether it hints at realities science has only begun to uncover. Stay with me, because by the end of this exploration, you might just begin to see that the greatest secrets of the universe don't always come from reason, but from that mysterious voice within. To understand the mystery of intuition, let's begin with the human brain. Every second, your brain processes millions of pieces of information, sounds, sights, smells, tiny changes in the environment, even micro-expressions on people's faces. But here's the thing, your conscious mind can only handle a very small fraction of that. The rest? It gets stored, analyzed, and filtered in your subconscious. This hidden processing system is one of the biggest keys to intuition. Imagine it like a supercomputer running in the background, constantly comparing your current experiences with everything you've ever seen, felt, or learned, even things you don't consciously remember. When it finds a match, it pushes a signal to your awareness. That signal often feels like a gut instinct. Take an example, a police officer walks into a room and instantly senses danger, even though everything looks normal. Later, it's discovered that the suspect's posture, facial tension, or body language triggered memories stored deep in the subconscious. The officer couldn't explain why he felt it, but his intuition was warning him of something real. This gut feeling isn't just a metaphor either. Scientists have discovered that the human gut contains a vast network of neurons, sometimes called the second brain. This gut-brain axis is directly connected to your nervous system and plays a role in emotional decision-making. When you say, "I feel it in my gut," it's more than a figure of speech. But intuition goes beyond quick survival decisions. It can inspire moments of creativity, innovation, and insight. Writers often describe ideas appearing in their minds, as if whispered from another place. Mathematicians like Ramanujan claimed their formulas came to them in visions, not through calculation. Musicians hear entire melodies in their dreams, only to wake and write them down. These are not logical, step-by-step processes, they're flashes of knowing, the hallmark of intuition. And then there are the mysteries that challenge our understanding. Countless people report premonitions, a dream or sudden sense of dread before an accident occurs. A mother waking in the night, feeling something is wrong, only to discover her child is in trouble. A traveler who changes flights at the last moment, avoiding disaster. Are these coincidences, or is intuition tapping into something beyond time itself? Some scientists propose that intuition could involve the brain detecting patterns in ways we don't yet understand, perhaps even subtle signals from the environment we can't consciously perceive. Others argue for something more radical, that intuition may be evidence of a deeper, interconnected reality, where information flows not just through neurons, but through the very fabric of the universe. Quantum physics hints at strange possibilities. At the subatomic level, particles can be entangled, instantly influencing each other across vast distances. Could our minds, in ways we don't yet comprehend, share a similar entanglement with each other, or with the cosmos itself? If so, intuition might not just be subconscious memory, it might be a window into hidden layers of reality. Still, skepticism remains strong. Scientists warn that our brains are wired to find patterns, even when none exist. A lucky guess can feel like prophecy. A coincidence can be mistaken for cosmic connection. And yet, the sheer number of stories across cultures and histories suggests that intuition is more than illusion. Perhaps it's both, a fusion of biology and mystery. A natural survival tool sharpened by evolution, and at the same time, a doorway to something bigger. The truth is, intuition challenges us because it exists in a space between logic and wonder. And this is why it continues to fascinate us. In a world obsessed with proof, intuition reminds us that not everything valuable can be measured. It whispers that there are truths the mind cannot see, but the heart can feel. In the next part, we'll dive into some of the most extraordinary cases of intuition, stories that defy explanation, and might just convince you that this hidden power is more real than you ever imagined. Instinct Star. It's that sudden pull inside you that says, something's not right, or this is the right path, even when you can't explain why. History is full of fascinating examples of this mysterious inner knowing. One of the most famous is the story of Abraham Lincoln. Days before his assassination, Lincoln reportedly told his close friends about a dream he had, in which he saw a coffin in the White House draped with mourning cloth. He did not know what it meant, but only days later, his life ended tragically, exactly as he had described. Was this simply coincidence, or a glimpse of the future delivered through intuition? Another powerful example comes from World War II. Many soldiers recounted sudden feelings of dread or hesitation that saved their lives. One veteran recalled how he ducked seconds before a sniper's bullet struck the wall where his head had just been. When asked why he moved, he said simply, "I don't know. I just felt it." But it's not just grand historical events. Everyday people experience intuition in ways both subtle and extraordinary. Parents often report sensing when their child is in danger, even from miles away. Travelers suddenly change plans for no reason, only to avoid accidents. Writers, inventors, and artists describe how entire solutions or visions appear in their minds, as if whispered by something beyond reason. Carl Jung, the great psychologist, believed intuition was one of the fundamental ways humans perceive the world, just as real as logic or sensation. He suggested that intuition connects us not only to our own subconscious, but to a deeper collective unconscious shared across humanity. In this view, intuition isn't just personal, it's universal. Yet, science continues to search for answers. Could intuition be the brain rapidly analyzing microsignals we don't consciously notice? Could it be connected to quantum processes, as some speculative theories suggest? Or is it something even bigger, an uncharted dimension of consciousness, linking us to a greater whole? What makes intuition so powerful is not only its mystery, but its impact. It shapes decisions, saves lives, inspires creativity, and offers guidance in moments of uncertainty. It doesn't ask for proof, it asks for trust. And when we listen, sometimes it changes everything. In the next part, we'll explore how different cultures throughout history have understood intuition, not as a random feeling, but as a sacred gift, a bridge between the human mind and the mysteries of existence. Across cultures and centuries, intuition has been regarded as more than just instinct, it has been honored as a sacred channel of wisdom. In ancient Greece, for instance, the Oracle of Delphi was believed to speak truths from beyond, guiding leaders and shaping the course of history. To the Greeks, these visions were not accidents but glimpses into a deeper layer of reality, accessed through intuition. In many indigenous traditions around the world, intuition is tied closely to nature. Shamans and healers trust visions, dreams, and gut feelings as messages from the spirit world, guiding not only individuals but entire communities. To them, ignoring intuition would mean cutting off a vital connection between humanity and the unseen forces of life. In India, the concept of the third eye represents intuitive knowledge that transcends ordinary perception. Yogis and mystics describe intuition as a faculty that awakens when the mind is still and the heart is open, a way of seeing truth without needing evidence. Similarly, in Buddhist traditions, intuition is often linked to mindfulness and enlightenment, an inner knowing that arises when the chatter of the mind quiets down. Even in the West, where rational thought is celebrated, intuition has never disappeared. Artists, poets, and scientists alike have credited their greatest breakthroughs to sudden insights that could not be explained by logic. Einstein himself famously said, "The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant." The more we look, the clearer it becomes. Intuition has always been seen as a bridge between the conscious and the unconscious, the physical and the spiritual, the human and the divine. It is the invisible thread linking us to wisdom that cannot be measured, but only felt. And perhaps this is why intuition remains so elusive. It doesn't operate on demand, nor does it fit neatly into scientific frameworks. Instead, it whispers at the edges of perception, asking us to trust something greater than reason alone. In the next part, we'll explore how modern science is beginning to study intuition and what it has discovered about the hidden power of this mysterious human sense. In recent decades, science has begun to investigate what intuition really is, and while it hasn't solved the mystery, it has uncovered fascinating insights. Researchers studying decision-making found that the human brain can detect patterns and make judgments faster than we can consciously explain them. This is sometimes called thin slicing, the ability to draw accurate conclusions from very small amounts of information. For example, experiments showed that people could often guess if a marriage would last after watching a couple interact for just a few seconds. Their conscious minds couldn't explain why, but their subconscious picked up on microexpressions, tones of voice, and body language. This subconscious processing is one of the scientific foundations of intuition. Another study found that people's bodies often respond to danger before their minds are aware of it. Heart rates, skin conductance, and even subtle brain signals can change seconds before someone consciously recognizes a threat. In other words, intuition might sometimes be the body's early warning system, alerting us before the rational brain catches up. But science also recognizes the limitations of intuition. While it can be incredibly powerful, it can also be misleading. Biases, fears, and wishful thinking can disguise themselves as intuition. What feels like a gut instinct may sometimes just be the echo of a past trauma or assumption. That's why many psychologists suggest balancing intuition with rational analysis rather than relying on one alone. Still, the more science digs, the more intriguing questions emerge. Could intuition be a kind of unconscious intelligence that evolution gave us to survive and thrive? Or is it a doorway into something deeper, something that conventional science is only beginning to glimpse? As we move forward, we'll explore how you can learn to recognize, trust, and strengthen your intuition, and why developing this hidden sense might be one of the most valuable skills you'll ever have. Aware of it. In experiments where participants were shown images, some neutral, others disturbing, their heart rate and skin responses shifted moments before the unsettling image even appeared. It was as if the body anticipated what was coming, a physiological form of intuition beyond conscious awareness. Neuroscientists have also discovered that the brain's two hemispheres play different roles in intuition. The right hemisphere, often linked to creativity and holistic thinking, processes patterns and emotions faster, while the left hemisphere focuses on logic and detail. When these two sides work together in balance, intuition becomes sharper and more reliable. Modern psychology now talks about dual processing, the fast, intuitive brain versus the slower, analytical brain. Both are vital, but the intuitive system is what gives us those instant flashes of understanding, like recognizing a face in a crowd or sensing danger in silence. But here's the challenge: in a world overloaded with information, many of us have learned to distrust intuition. We're taught to value evidence, logic, and step-by-step reasoning. Yet when we ignore that inner voice, we sometimes miss out on guidance that could protect, inspire, or transform us. So, how do we strengthen intuition? Meditation, mindfulness, and paying attention to bodily sensations are powerful practices. By calming the constant noise of the mind, you create space for intuitive whispers to be heard. Journaling dreams, observing synchronicities, or even simply practicing trust in small decisions can refine this hidden sense. The truth is, intuition is not rare, it's universal. Everyone has it. The difference lies in how much we notice it, honor it, and allow it to guide us. Some of the world's greatest innovators, leaders, and creators openly credit their success not to logic alone, but to listening to that quiet inner knowing. In the final part, we'll explore what intuition might truly mean, not just a survival tool or brain shortcut, but perhaps a profound connection to the deeper mysteries of existence. When we step back and look at intuition not just as a mental shortcut, but as something deeper, a powerful idea begins to emerge. Maybe intuition is our bridge to a greater reality. Across cultures and philosophies, intuition has been described as a sacred connection to the unseen, a way for the human spirit to tune into truths that lie beyond logic. Ancient traditions saw intuition as a divine gift. Mystics, shamans, and philosophers believed it allowed humans to align with universal wisdom, tapping into a field of knowledge that science is only beginning to glimpse. In modern terms, some compare it to accessing the collective unconscious, or even subtle frequencies of information that our senses don't normally detect. Think about it: intuition guides us in moments of uncertainty, nudges us away from danger, and pulls us toward opportunities that shape our destiny. It may be more than instinct, it may be the very language of the universe, spoken quietly within us. Perhaps intuition is not about predicting the future but about aligning with it, sensing currents before they become visible waves. And maybe, by strengthening this connection, we open ourselves to a life of deeper meaning, purpose, and flow. So the next time you feel that inner voice, whether it's a whisper telling you to take a different path, a sudden knowing that sparks inspiration, or a quiet feeling of recognition, don't dismiss it. That's not just your brain guessing. That could be the universe itself, gently guiding you forward. The mystery of human intuition reminds us that we are more than machines of logic and reason. We are beings woven into a greater fabric of life, where the seen and unseen constantly dance together. And intuition? It might just be the thread connecting it all.